It is 6 Yankee Niner Day. We're going to go to Sidnaw, Michigan. Airport is Prickett Grooms Field, 6 Yankee Niner, right up near Lake Superior. And I got me a fleece because the lows are in the 40, the highs are in the 60s. And I got this for free for taking a survey online. So it's hot here in Texas. It's humid. It's gross. But we're gonna go fly very, very far away. Where are we going?
We are going to Sidnaw, Michigan.
Sidnaw, West Michigan.
Okay, try again.
Where are we going?
We are going to the Upper Peninsula in Michigan.
What's the name of the airport?
Prickett something.
Yep, Prickett something. Yeah, I was gonna plug that into GPS. Prickett something. It'll get us there.
Prickett Grooms or something?
It is Prickett Grooms.
That sounded odd.
All right, we are going to Ankeny Regional Kilo India Kilo Victor because they have cheap fuel and Mexican food. Northwest traffic Comanche is crossing 1735 at Bravo Northwest. And then after lunch at Ankeny, we are going to continue on for 2.5 hours to Sidnaw, Wisconsin. Sidnaw, I always do that, Michigan. Wisconsin should just go ahead and be like, you know what, this is ours. People already think it is. So, Wisconsin, I'm giving you that. That's yours now.
Northwest Regional traffic, system 2 and 2, crossing over the numbers on the north end and departing to the northwest. Northwest Regional.
Northwest traffic, Comanche 7420, Papa's departing runway 35. We'll be departing to the north. Northwest traffic. All right, full power. Wheels on the floor. Alright, somebody. And she wants to fly, it seems. Landing gear's coming up. Oh man, look at that. Just move.
So we took off and headed north. Pretty uneventful flight. The air was very calm and smooth. We stopped in Ankeny to get some fuel and grab a bite to eat, and then we continued on our way to 6 Yankee Niner. All right, guys, real quick, we got a problem. We got to talk about it. This here is Wisconsin, right? Everyone gets it. This is Michigan. That's cool. Upper Peninsula, also Michigan. Clearly, Michigan has started to take over Wisconsin, and what they've done is they brought their time zone with it, which you can't take over a state and enforce your time zone on it. So Wisconsin is Central Time, which means if I go to Oshkosh, I don't got to change my watch. I don't have a watch. If whatever it is, I don't have to change it. But if I go to Michigan, due north, I've got to change it to Eastern Time, which doesn't make sense. And even weirder, if I'm up in this area, I'm flying from east to west. I could be in Central Time, but flying west and have to put my clock back into Eastern Time. And then if I keep going back into Central Time, the Wisconsinites need to band together and reclaim that part of Michigan for themselves and put their time zone, because this time zone, it's how the sun goes around the world, not because you want the, see how frustrated I'm getting? That's flustered and frustrated. Put that in your vernacular. This shouldn't be a thing. Back to the flight. Prickett Grooms has a 2,400-foot grass strip. It's pretty basic. It doesn't have any lights. There's no tower, and it is surrounded by very tall trees on all sides. There's really tall trees here everywhere, and so when you're landing, you kind of have to drop it in, and you really have to be on your numbers, otherwise you're going to have to go around.
Prickett Grooms traffic, Comanche 7420, Papa is about 8 miles southwest. I'm going to do a practice ILS for 10, Prickett Grooms.
Practice ILS. Nice.
I'm going to go mist.
As I got closer to the airport, I started to realize that the ILS wasn't responding. I think it was in op. So I decided to do what any good instrument-rated pilot would do, and that is to go mist.
Ed, what's the ground speed?
The go mist procedure at Prickett Groomsfield is to fly straight out and then climb up as high as you can. I got up to about 200,000 feet, as you can see here, and then I went back to hold until I could figure out what approach made more sense, and so I finally found one that I thought was going to work for me.
Prickett Grooms, Comanche sub 420 Papa's, 4 miles to the west on the RNAV approach for 10.
While this isn't an 800-foot strip on a sandbar, I wouldn't really recommend 6 Yankee 9er to 100-hour pilot trying to land out here. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know this is my second time here. The first time I actually rode in with a friend of mine. That was the year I was greeted by a runway that had been closed via humans in the shape of a giant X on the threshold. That was fun, but I digress. The point is, I've got about 1,000 hours and I've become very comfortable in the Comanche. Landing here can be pretty tricky because the wind does really weird things as you approach the tree line, and also you need to be able to drop it in right after the trees and sort of finesse a little power to keep from denting the runway. While we were out here this weekend, we watched a few bounce landings, some go-arounds, and a couple of takeoffs where we all breathed a collective sigh of relief as the planes cleared the trees. So, I don't know, on a scale of 1 to 10 for a level of difficulty operating on and around this airport, I'll give it a 6.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Runway looks a whole lot shorter when you first touch down.
Once we landed, the first order of business was to get fed. This is a really small town. I think last time I checked, it was somewhere between 75 and 100 people that live here, but they've got this great little restaurant called Hoppy's. Hoppy's has really good food and drinks. They've got this back room that they put us in, and we managed to fill it up. The ceiling tiles are drawn on in Sharpie. There's one tile that the Pilots of America group has been signing every year. This year we added signatures from the new people who were attending. And the most important thing at all, if you do remember that video I did 4 or 5 years ago where we came here, I found on a fence outside behind Hoppy's, someone had installed a urinal. I use the word installed lightly. There was just a urinal attached to the fence. Really the most important takeaway from this trip was recreating that photo, only a little differently. Yeah, she's a keeper. So at the west end of the runway is an old schoolhouse. And when I say old, it's old. There's books and stuff in here that date back to the 1800s. I don't know really how old the school is. But you can see here, it is absolutely pitch black. There's no light. There's no city lights. There's no nothing. The stars were amazing. We actually even got to see the northern lights a little bit while we were out here. The schoolhouse is where we spend most of our time socializing. You can see this is just creepy as hell at night. I told the owners it would be wise of them to turn this into a haunted house at Halloween. Here to the left is an area they're renovating. This is where we had breakfast and spent some time socializing. This room here is another sort of common area where we socialized and hung out and visited. But it's also kind of cool to go explore this old building, and it's so tempting to throw in some jump scares here, but I won't do that because I hate them. The further we get away from those common areas, the further back in time we actually end up going. This is one of the classrooms, and it's interesting to me to think there's chalkboards on the walls and books on these bookshelves that were used 30, 40, 50, maybe more years ago. These are some really old law books. So as far as just creepy old buildings go, I haven't been in many. I love the idea of exploring creepy old buildings. This is definitely high on the creepy factor for me. I'm actually glad they installed these LED lights. Otherwise, walking around with a flashlight, I probably would have scared myself half to death. All right, so that's it for today's video. I really had hoped to put the entire trip into one video, but I've got so much going on in my real life, I don't have a ton of time to edit video right now, so I'm gonna split it into 2 parts. So stick around next week. I'm going to get the other half of this out where we're going to look a little bit more about Sidnaw and what's going on there. A lot of aviation photos and video, and I actually got a drone, which I had a little bit of fun with out there filming some stuff. And then some interviews with a couple of people that I think you guys are going to find pretty interesting. So stick around, come back next week to see the end of the video. And I never promote my channel. I don't share my videos on social media or anything like that. I do want the channel to grow. So if you're here and you're not subscribed, I will ask, I almost never do, please consider subscribing. I say we. Why do YouTubers say we? Most YouTubers are solo artists, I don't know. But watch your YouTubers, they say we. It's usually just me. I don't know why I just did that. So maybe they don't know why. Anyway, we'll be back next week. But no, really, please consider subscribing. After this, we'll get back to funny stuff. My channel, if you are new here, tends to be mostly funny stuff, but I got a new plane. I'm going on new adventures because of it. All that stuff I like to document. I like to make videos, so I'm interspersing some real-life flying content. So I hope you enjoy it, and see you guys in the next one. You guys fly smart. Click this link to see the most recent video upload. Click this link to see a video that YouTube thinks you might like. Click this link to subscribe to my channel.